Here.
Trustee Gibson,
Here.
Trustee Silver,
Here.
Trustee Kwong,
Here.
Trustee Liu,
He's in the parking lot.
Trustee Wong,
Here.
Student Trustee Wong.
Thank you. Do we have any public comment on closed session agenda items? We do not. We're now going to recess the closed session, C1 Government Code 54957A, C2 Government Code 54957.6, Conference of Labor Negotiators, C3 Government Code 54957, and then C4 Government Code 54957, Evaluation of Employee. We'll return from close in a bit. Thank you. 40647. Roll call, please.
Trustee Chen Lao, Trustee Aragon,
Present.
Trustee Gibson,
Here.
Trustee Silver,
Here.
Trustee Kwong,
Here.
Trustee Liu,
Here.
Trustee Wong,
Here.
Student Trustee Wong.
Thank you. We'll now go to our land acknowledgement. Trustee Aragon.
Yes, Pasadena City College is a learning community with the indigenous homelands of people who have been known as the Gabrieleño Band of Mission Indians of the Shishiquanda Village and Quiche Nation. Tonight, we acknowledge the painful history of genocide and forced removal from this land on which we gather. We also honor the legacy of the African diaspora and recognize that the United States, as we know it, was built at the often fatal expense of forcefully enslaved Black people. We are indebted to their labor and the labor of many Black and brown bodies that continue to work in the shadows for our collective benefit. PCC and its faculty, staff, and students recognize that we are all simultaneously teachers, learners, and guests on this land. This acknowledgement is a small part of ongoing process of working to raise awareness about the histories that are too often erased or forgotten, to recognize our place in this history, and to affirm our commitment to social justice, systemic change, and anti-racism.
Thank you, Trustee Aragon. For the Pledge of Allegiance, Trustee Gibson, would you like to lead us in the pledge?
Yes. Rise.
Please rise.
Begin. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, God, indivisible, with liberty for all.
Thank you. And now for the approval of the agenda. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Liu. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Student Trustee Wong. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That passes unanimously. Thank you. Before we get started today, I just wanted to take a quick second and appreciate everybody's time and for coming to join our regular board meeting today. As you all know, we are living in world history in this current moment. And I just want to say, currently as board chair, that this is certainly a time for us to come together as a community to affirm, reaffirm, and commit to our values as a college and as an institution, our shared commitments to unity, our shared commitments to inclusion across our entire campus, certainly of mutual respect and supporting all of our students throughout our campus, our vibrant and diverse community that comes to PCC every single day, and that we will continue to focus on making sure that our community and our campus is one that is safe, that is welcoming, and certainly one that is resilient moving into the future for all answers, as we have done and as we will continue to do. And the work that we have to do to serve our students continues. The work has to continue, and I think that is what we are here as a board to do today, and what I think many of us who are in the room here continue to do every single day. And so I thank you for that work. I thank you for your leadership, and let's continue doing this work to serve our students and serve our community. And let's get to work. Our first item on our agenda today is a special moment for us, as we are taking a moment to recognize two giants in our community, two leaders who have dedicated a lot of their leadership, quite frankly, to this institution and to our students and to the work that our college, and without their work, we would not be able to succeed in serving students the way that we have been able to. And so I'm going to first pass it over to Dr. Gomez as we recognize first Senator Anthony Portantino.
I'd like to start, thank you, Board President Wong. I'd like to start by inviting Senator Anthony Portantino to join Board President Wong over there. In that general vicinity. Senator Portantino, thank you for being with us tonight. In many ways, We are all here tonight thanks to you. It was your steadfast advocacy for California's community colleges on the Senate Appropriations Committee that meant our system can be a powerful resource for countless families across the state. Here at PCC, though, I want to highlight a few specific examples in your legislative record. You lowered barriers to career education and apprenticeship opportunities for students coming from vulnerable backgrounds, ensuring financial aid programs wouldn't shut out students who don't have Social Security numbers. You brought together Burbank, Glendale, and Pasadena in a landmark effort to address affordable housing for our students, their families, and our community. Most importantly, you delivered more than $40 million for Pasadena City College in the form of state bond financing for the Serafian Building, which is nearing completion on the other side of our campus. We hope that you are able to come back in the spring for the grand opening. I actually got to tour the campus or the building earlier today, and that's why some of us have a hat head from the hard hats that we had to wear. All not the bad hair, but the building because of you. The funding helped kickstart, in addition, our Measure PCC Facilities Strategic Plan, which, thanks to your endorsement, received the support of more than 70% of our voters. Today, we are delivering on this promise thanks to you. Your tireless efforts have distinguished your career in public service. However, for us, your service means so much more. And so tonight, we're pleased to present you with a token of our appreciation, an above-the-line recognition for an A-list star. For those who can't see, the back of the chair, the director's chair, says, Senator Portantino, PCC producer. What better way to recognize a mover and shaker on the way to his next big project? From all of us at PCC, thank you so much for your advocacy and support and for producing so much for this college. Thanks again, Senator Portantino. Now, we'd like to ask you to come up and we'd like to take some photos with you. Yes.
Awesome.
Trustees?
Awesome.
Like to join us?
I asked him one time. I said, "Yes," is all he said.
Are we on? Yeah, there we. First of all, thank you. I know Mr. Holden would agree with me on this. We don't do what we do to get recognized. We do what we do because we care about the community. And so much of what makes this community what it is Pasadena City College. I mean, you are the heart and soul of so many things. And I can't tell you how many folks that I've encountered over the past 25 years in politics who had their start here on their journey, on their successful journey. And so it's just been a pleasure for me to represent PCC. But back to my days when I was mayor of La Cañada, when we did Measure P, I don't know if I was rewarded or punished, but I got placed on the Bond Oversight Committee back then to make sure that you did such a great job. And some of you may not know, but with Measure P, you did every single project under budget. There was actually a surplus after that, to just testament to this school managing its money. And the last time you ever heard a public agency come in under budget and on time? It just doesn't happen, but yet you did it. And so for me, it's been great. I do have to share on the Serafian Building funding. Of all the time, my 14 years in the legislature, it's the only time I ever lost my temper and shouted at the governor's office when they were giving me pushback. And I literally slammed the table with the governor's staff in the room, and I said, "You are going to do this, because if you don't, I'm going to make your lives miserable." And I literally lost my temper because they were giving me pushback. And of course, the good news is they were afraid of me and came through with the funding. So it's great to see it being used for such a laudable purpose. And as I tell everybody, the community college model, you all know, your transfers do better at the UC than the four-year students at UC. That's a testament to all of you, that you take students and you help them on their journey. And as you know, those community college students have struggles in their lives. And you adapt to those struggles and you provide the opportunity for them to succeed and go on to do bigger and better things, whether it's a certificate program or a four-year university. I mean, that's the other sort of exciting thing about community colleges, is it provides so many doors for students to open to be successful in their careers and in their lives. So I'm just here to say thank you to all of you. The hardest thing in politics, it's easy to be a legislator. It's hard to be an educator because everybody is an expert in education. Everybody has a story to tell. Everybody wants the best for their children, and you are on the front lines of it. So I'm here to say thank you to all of you and the administrators, the faculty, everybody that makes this this school function and succeed deserves our applause. So thank you very much, and I really love my chair. Thank you. And I want to give props to Assemblymember Holden, too, who's also been a champion at community colleges, and so thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you for your kind words too, Senator. And certainly a champion for our college, but certainly community colleges across the state. I will now hand it back over to Dr. Gomez.
And Mr. Wong, we did the mental health forum, and you were here.
Yes.
That's the other cool thing about all the board members. You all show up at the community events, and this building has hosted so many of those programs. And so not just the heart and soul for the students, but for the community as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll hand it back over to Dr. Gomez now for a few important words about Assemblymember Chris Holden.
Okay. Thank you, Alton. I'd like to also invite Assemblymember Chris Holden to come to the sort of area between the podium and that black sort of sheath over there. Assemblymember Holden, we are very, very pleased to have you here tonight. I'm especially excited to recognize the tremendous impact you have had on our system and on students across the state. Nearly 10 years ago, we hosted you on this campus for a celebration of what I believe is your legacy to higher education in California. Assembly Bill 288, by the way, right here, Assembly Bill 288, I have this in my office, established statewide standards for dual enrollment programs, linking K-12 districts and community colleges in the mission of expanding college access. The bill provided a framework for colleges like PCC, but more importantly, It oriented the entire system toward the idea that higher education could start in high school. This was truly groundbreaking. In the years since then, you have come back to dual enrollment time and time again, removing barriers, opening new doors, and ensuring that these programs will live on for generations across California. The efforts have paid tremendous dividends. Today, PCC has more than 2,000 students enrolled in its dual enrollment programs. That is roughly 5% of our annual enrollment, and it continues to grow. We have dual enrollment agreements with every one of our constituent K-12 districts, and we continue to field requests from other education providers in the area. As a further example, last May, we hosted, and you were there, sir, we hosted 7 students from John Muir High School. These we called the Super 7 because they were real pioneers. Between them, all of them received associate's degrees at their high school graduation. They actually, among the 7, they actually earned a total of 13 associate degrees in addition to their high school diplomas that year. Your achievement has inspired our students and driven our college to pursue new opportunities such as dual enrollment. As you know, I believe, and many believe this with me, that you, sir, are the father of California's dual enrollment system, a transformative educational initiative that is impacting so many families, not just in our district, but throughout the state of California. The father of California's dual enrollment system. Give him a big hand. But this groundbreaking work is also reflected in your advocacy for our students, whether through free transit opportunities, fighting for state funding for the Serafian building, and lowering barriers to access across the state. In addition, your support of Measure PCC has given us the tools we need to transform the college for its next century. For these reasons and more, I want to express the gratitude of PCC's students, faculty, and staff for your service to the college. You are truly a key member of our team. But you don't have to take my word for it. Some people may not know this, but Assemblymember Holden pursued a career as a professional basketball player prior to entering public service. So as you begin the next phase of your professional life, it's my pleasure to present you with a token of our appreciation that calls back to the first stage of your career. The plaque reads, Honorable Chris Holden, California State Assembly 2020-2024, friend and champion of Pasadena City College. You will always be our all-star at PCC. Thank you for your outstanding support of our college and our students. Thank you very much for everything that you've done. Now we'd like to take some photos with you if you have a moment. That is the number of his assembly district, Assembly District 41, and that's what he's going to, you're going to be turning 41 next. Careful. I'll give it to Alex.
It's gone. It's in my stomach. Oh, it's over there. Come on.
I didn't give any drinks this time.
First of all, let me just say thank you. You know, I can probably begin and end there, but I know all of you personally, and I really do appreciate all of the good work, dedication that you have to this, I was going to say university, this college. It is crown jewel of the San Gabriel Valley. But as far as community colleges go, you're renowned, not only around the state, but around the country. And the young people who come here know that they have a high degree of probability for success in transferring to the university of their choice. That means that you are well-rounded and you provide the kind of guidance, not only in the classroom, but to help them be successful as people. And so I'm very proud to be aligned with this wonderful college. I thank you for encasing the jersey so I won't be tempted to try to put it on and actually go out there and try to do something, although those years have gone. But let me just say this. Pasadena College has always been a part of my life growing up here in Pasadena. Every year you put forth the best and brightest musicians who parade along the Colorado Boulevard for the world to see. You're the only community college that has such an honor. My high school basketball coach, George Turgeon, when he finished coaching at Pasadena High School, he came to Pasadena City College, where he also coached. So I have those kind of fond memories. Michael Cooper, who was 4 years before me, graduating from Pasadena High School, attended PCC. And so there's a long history of not only athletes, but young people who came here and found their North Star, to be exposed to opportunities, and that's why we're so excited about what the dual enrollment program means to so many. Those who never thought that college would really be in their cards, to know that they could do the work and excel. And so it's been really exciting to see how the program has taken off. We were successful in getting a couple of years ago into the budget about $400 million to help with letting communities and families know around the state that this program exists and that more young people need to participate. And so I think it's going to continue to take off. I'm happy that I was able to play a role. The idea came from the local community who really pushed me to say, you need to start looking at, in this educational area, how dual enrollment can make a big difference in our kids' lives. So it's a team sport, as I like to say, that I didn't have the ball in my hand the whole time. Others were a part of this process, including Senator Portantino. Had my bills not made it out of appropriations, well, you know, we'd be mad at him and you wouldn't have given him a chair tonight. But he's a wonderful senator and he was very much a part of its success as well. And so I want to thank him, and I also want to thank my colleagues and the governor for signing the 5 or more bills that we were able to author around dual enrollment. And we're not going too far. We'll still be out there and engaged in things, and we look forward to being back in touch with you in the near future, and always call on me if there's anything I can do to be helpful to your efforts here at PCC going forward. Thank you, and congratulations for the great work you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you again to Senator Portantino, to Assemblymember Holden for your leadership. Our college has truly benefited, has felt, has seen the impact of the work that you all have, you both have done in Sacramento. And I think you know, it's in no small part to your dedication that has led PCC to be, as Dr. Gomez likes to always insist and make sure we know, the best community college, not just in the state, but in the nation. So thank you again. If any of my colleagues have anything they'd like to add, please, I would like to, yeah, go ahead, Trustee Liu.
Yeah, just one really quick thing. So I was a student here, and I was involved in our student government, and I remembered every year we would try and meet with legislators, former and current, to talk to them about the projects we had. And we were always really nervous as students, right? You don't know what these elected officials are going to say to us, but I remember particularly we reached out to when we were organizing a town hall for people running for Pasadena mayor in 2015, and we needed a moderator. We reached out to Senator Portantino, and he was very generous to, one, respond to a random 18-year-old, but two, dedicate 2 hours to moderate this very energetic debate. So I remember that even 10 years ago, so thank you so much, Senator Portantino. And same with Assemblymember Holden. I remember when we met you, you gave us your business card and wrote down your number and said, feel free to reach out. And that was really, I think, a confidence booster for all of us. So even 10 years later, I remember that. So thank you so much for the impact that you all have made in the community.
Trustee Gibson.
Yeah, I want to thank Assemblymember Holden. We've known each other for a long time, and I really appreciate your being willing to help on all the projects involving students, involving community affairs. You've always been willing to go out there and do whatever's needed to help the community and the students, so I appreciate that. I also want to thank Senator Portantino for all the help you've given over the years, so thank you both very much.
I have,
Oh, sure.
again, thank you so much, both of you, for all that you do. But I just want to mention something in regards to dual enrollment, because I got the opportunity to teach in dual enrollment for the last couple of years. So I just want to make sure that you know that it allows many of us that are seasoned professionals to work with the high school students, but it also provides an opportunity for new professionals to get some of these positions to teach. And so whether or not that was an intended, it's an unintended kind of goal or a great thing that's happening with dual enrollment. So thank you on behalf of the staff.
Trustee Silver.
I want to thank Senator Portantino. I have been a fan of yours for so many years. The good work you've done for our state is legendary, from gun safety legislation to late start for high school students, always thinking of students and children and what's best for them, not necessarily the adults in the room, but what's good for students. And, I suppose if you would like to thank him why I'm here or not, but I campaigned for Anthony, and that was probably one of my first political experiences back all those years ago. And I really enjoyed it, and I'm so glad that I've been a small part of the journey with you. And Assemblymember Holden, your warm, welcoming ways are so appreciated, and the good that you've done for so many students, millions of students in our state. And as we meet with our colleagues across the country, we do infuse California ideas nationwide. And dual enrollment is transformative, letting students who have no family connection with college experience it, know that they can succeed in college and that college is for them, transforms our state and our communities in such a positive way. So both of you, such forces for good. Also, I really like that both of you were chairs of the apportionment committees at the same time. I thought, we're winning. So thank you both for all the good that you've done for our community, our college, and our state. Thank you.
Anybody else?
And
please.
I just wanted to just mention one other thing, and I say this everywhere I go. We are the luckiest community and the most fortunate community college to have the best representatives. Our assembly members, our senators, our members of Congress, but in particular, both of you, I could list 100 things that each of you have done for this area. I'm a resident of Pasadena, so I've followed your careers for many years. Senator Portantino, of course, you've been an amazing advocate, as you have, Assemblymember Holden, for our foster youth, putting together town halls and helping the college serve and support our foster youth. And Assemblymember Holden, you, of course, have been a mayor, a city councilman. Your entire public service career has really centered on this region and this community, and we are so fortunate that you have been a part of that. And you not only fought for this community, but you were a champion for anybody that walked into your office. Before I came to PCC, I was at another institution outside of your district, and you know, we'd knock on the doors like Ryan mentioned, and not everyone would meet with us. Sometimes we'd meet with staff people who are wonderful, but you, every single year for 15 years, you always met with us. And so thank you both again for your service. And we took a lot of time trying to figure out just the right gift for you all. So we hope that you like it.
Awesome. I know we could probably spend here all day talking about the incredible work that Senator Portantino and Assemblymember Holden have done for our college, but I just wanted to close us out on that item, which is thanking you again. And thank you for your time coming here today to join us during our board meeting to do this very, the least we can do in thanking you for your leadership and your service. So thank you again. We're going to now move to public comment on non-agenda items. Trustee Lee, do we have any public comments on non-agenda items?
Yes, we have a few.
Okay.
First public speaker, public comment from Eduardo A. Cairo.
Are they on the consent calendar? Not those. Oh, yes, they are.
Want to close this?
Yes, feel free to begin whenever you're ready.
Good evening, board members. My name is Eduardo A. Cairo. I have been a full-time faculty at PCC since the year 2000. I'm a veteran of the United States Marine Corps, a past academic senate president, past president of the Southern California Association of Latin American Scholars. I participate with PCC's Veterans Resource Center, and I'm a 17-year member of the Tournament of Roses. I will be reading to you a summarized version of my complete statement, given the fact that it goes over allowed 3 minutes. I've asked that you be given a copy of my complete statement. I have gone through the chain of command to ask that I, as the only Hispanic subject matter expert that has consistently taught the Mexican American history course for 24 consecutive years, be allowed to serve on this year's evaluation committee, which I was denied. In order to be an evaluator of the tenure track instructor that was hired to teach as their primary assignment Mexican American history. So I'm here tonight to inform you of the grave injustice being committed against students who take courses in the Mexican American history, which are primarily Hispanic students, by voicing my 2 concerns. 1, violations of the contract. 2, a violation or a lack of inclusion of me as a Latino faculty member. Under the contract, tenure track faculty are typically evaluated once a year during the probationary period, but the dean or appropriate vice president can opt for additional evaluations. When I asked to be part of this year's evaluation team, I was told that since the committee had already been formed and evaluations completed, this was not possible. According to the contract, an additional evaluation is possible. Additionally, the contract states each individual on the evaluation team observes the tenure track faculty member in the performance of his/her principal assignment. This instructor that I speak of has been evaluated on U.S. history, not the primary assignment, again, in direct violation of the contract. According to the administration, to have an additional evaluation would not be fair to instructor. But I ask you, is it fair to the students who perhaps be taught inaccurate information? No. Under the Ed Code, the peer process shall address the forthcoming demographics of California. If we are over 50% Hispanic, then why does the evaluation team consist of 2/3 white individuals who are academically unqualified to evaluate the instructor's principal assignment? Which brings me to my next concern, a lack of inclusion of me as a Latino faculty member. How is the college addressing that part of the academic code? By having 2 white people that lack the academic knowledge and the personal cultural background. And yet I do. I fill all the boxes. Knowledge, check. Personal cultural background, check. Fluency in Spanish, check. Fluency in Spanglish, check. Street lingo, check. In other words, I would be able to evaluate the instructor's knowledge on the subject matter that the instructor was hired to teach. Why is there such a reluctance to have me, a Latino, who has a minimum of 24 years of subject matter expertise, is fluent in Spanish, and could provide a personal perspective into the Mexican-American culture? Why is there reluctance to have me evaluate this year, the tenure track instructor? It just goes to show you that the exclusion of Hispanic people is still
Thank you.
present
Your
in our
time has
daily
elapsed.
lives.
Thank you.
May I have an additional 10 seconds?
Sorry, in the interest of our public comments, we'll have to cut it off there, but we do have your printed comments.
Okay, I do hope that you take this matter into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. Next public comment from Mr. Shaganaka.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died, who gave thy right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you, defender, still today. 'Cause there's no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. President Jones, I would like to share several of my concerns with you. When I was wearing my shirt, and then your friend told me that it's not allowed under the Constitution. Your academic friends said that. When I'm wearing my dress, my professor told me, everybody are looking at you. You cannot do that to me. So, I have to take that off. When I'm wearing my hat in the class, my professor said, you need to take that off. That's too much political in my class. That's not allowed. And then last week, your police officer approached me that I should not wear my security jacket on campus. People are complaining because of my security jacket. So President Jones, today I'm here without my bra, without my underwear. So I just don't know that what else do you allow me to wear anymore? I don't know what I'm allowed to wear anymore. Do I have to take off my underwear for you? I really don't know. I asked you numerous times that what kind of law did I violate? What kind of California Penal Code? What kind of Constitution did I violate? And then you said, you will follow up with me. After 1 year, 2 years, nothing. President Jones, I did a free consultation with the Community Legal Services. 403 U.S. 15, 1971, Cohen versus California. The government cannot censor speech simply because it is offensive. I want to ask you, which part of my speech is offensive? Second of all, the court ruled the states must have a better reason than the desire to maintain public order. So I want to ask our board member, Trustee Kwong, when Gina Lopez talk about my mental health, she doesn't say anything. But when I talk about her diabetes, obesity, and then somehow I have to be, what's that word? Decorum. So when they are saying anything, there's no decorum issue. Only me have the decorum issue. According to the court, one man's vulgarity is another's lyrics. So President Jones, I was trying to surrender to you. I was trying to surrender, get on my knees, but I realized that I only live once. I will wear my dress. I will wear my hat. I will wear my whatever T-shirt, whatever security jacket I have. If your officer
Your time
have
has
to
elapsed.
arrest me, I will be ready.
Next public comment from Chief Manuelito.
Please leave them there, and then we'll collect them afterwards.
Great. I don't wish to be offensive. I don't wish anyone to feel uncomfortable. However, the First Amendment can be vulgar, can create a type of energy that will steer some of you to the point of saying that that's not First Amendment speech. However, the portion into the record I will read tonight will definitely talk about a dirty situation. We got dirty councilmen, we got dirty mayors, we got dirty board, we got a dirty commissioners, and we got a fucked up system in California. It needs to change. That reform comes from educators, educating the public what the First Amendment might say, might accost you to question what I'm about to read into the record, which is very simple. Brandenburg versus Ohio, 395 U.S. 444, 1969. But for the record to be set, Bagdasarian versus Pasadena. Remember that. Bagdasarian versus Pasadena. A threat against a black president. However, this is what the footnote reads. How far is the nigger going to? Yeah, this is what we're going to do to the dirty niggers. A dirty nigger. Send the Jews back to Israel. Let's give them back to the dark garden and save America. Save America for exactly what I talked about. Dirty. Dirty political schemes, dirty political people, and dirty political hostile yourselves. Why would you engage with people who are making their lives better, but yet forcing us minorities to work twice as hard just to stabilize ourselves and the economy we're going up in? So this oppression is greatly talked about. That's why I used the name Chief Manuelito, because we stood up against the government and we fought them to the very end to prove a point. America's doom, we're fucked. And that's a real situation in life. If you can't face it, thank God for Trump. Continue to understand that the Trump situation is not about you. It's about the reform we need in California, we need in Sacramento, and that dumbass moron idiot fool by the name of Gavin Newsom. Thank you.
And that concludes public comments on non-agenda items.
Our next item is to approve the minutes for the Board of Trustees regular business meeting number 11, October 9th, 2024. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Liu. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Gibson. Do we have any discussion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. Student Trustee?
Aye.
Everybody else, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. The minutes are approved. Do we have any board committees reporting out?
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Yeah, I can report out. So the facility subcommittee met yesterday. It was a good meeting. Thank you so much to Vice President Jones and her wonderful team for the updates that they gave us on their upcoming and current facilities projects, including the mirror pool. So we're really excited to see that be ready next year and be grand and spectacular for our students. And we also got an update on our small, local, emerging, and disabled veteran business BP and AP project. And it's exciting how we're going to be able to hopefully be able to help our local veteran business community. And this is technically not a board committee, but I'm also the liaison for the PCC Foundation. And yeah, just wanted to share that they'll have their scholarship ceremony and reception Friday, December 13th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Beckman Auditorium down the street at Caltech. So should be wonderful seeing all the students get their scholarships this year.
Thank you, Trustee Liu. Any other board committees? Okay, thank you. We're now going to move to our consent calendar for items F1 through H20. Do we have any public comments on the consent calendar?
We do. We have one public comment on item H4 from Chief Manuelito.
And what's the other comment? What number is the other comment?
That's for J1 for the personnel.
Okay. We'll take the public comment from this consent calendar before we consider the consent calendar. And just a reminder that items on the agenda comments have to be about the item on the agenda.
Most definitely. And the purpose of my participation on this item, funding for California State preschool programs, well, the insult is I visit with the superintendent of Los Angeles Unified School District, and it's a real insult that you only allow 15 members of the public to participate out of 100,000 in population. It shows you the graphics of discrimination. It shows you the failure of what's happening with our school systems, especially for preschool. All you're doing is babysitting, preschooling. We know that. Because parents can't do it themselves anymore. They have too many problems. Our social well-being has too many problems. And I can contest to that. One, I worked at County USC for 6 years in medicine. Two, I worked over 20 years in education with the goddamn school district, and I work with preschoolers. And let me tell you something. If it's not the way they think it's going to work, then what happens? It never works. It fails. So we're paying into a system, right? A state preschool program that not even the state representatives dare to step in and find out what really is going on. Other than teachers have to be quiet, aides and staff have to be quiet, and do exactly what the principal tells you. Well, for the record, 42 U.S.C. 1983, politely, to all those principals who fuck with my mind working those years, fuck you. Just like Biggie Big would say, growing up in the ghetto was hard, so I had to do what I had to do to survive. I wasn't selling drugs. I wasn't pushing heroin. I was trying to survive to provide for my family, my children. So think about my comment. If you really care for children, if you really care for kids, then get involved. Write to your senators, write to your assemblymen, get involved. Other than that, I have nothing good to say about this program other than show us the money figure that we plan to allocate to adopt into this resolution of this program. Other than that, thank you for hearing my presentation. 42 U.S.C. 1983, politely, fuck you.
We're now going to move to consideration of the consent calendar to approve items F1 through H20. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Silver. Can I get a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Gibson. Any discussion? Oh, this is consent calendar, so we actually don't need that. I'm going to move to a vote. Trustee Wong?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. That passes unanimously. Thank you. We're going to now move to our personnel consent calendar, items I2 to I4. For the approval of personnel consent calendar, items I2 to I4. Student trustee does not vote on this item. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Aragon. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Kwong. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 And that passes. Thank you very much. We're now on to our action items. Our first action item is item J1.
Mr. Chair, we have one public comment on this
Please.
item. Public comment on item J1 from Chief Manuelito.
I worked 18 years of my life dedicating to the youth in a special education program. And you know what I got out of 18 years? I got fucked. I became disabled because of the employer. I tried to return to work twice. On the second time of returning, the goddamn motherfuckers never returned me to work in 2018. Since that point, I haven't received any benefit other than the fact that I suffered from PTSD on the job. And so if you think there's something wrong with me, look twice in the mirror when you point a finger at me, because I did an excellent job. I performed my duties. I educated the public. I stood up for my students. I stood up for their parents. I advocated. And I got railroaded. And when I went back under FMLA, guess what? I didn't get to go to work because they said I didn't show up for my assignment. Now, you tell me who's living hard when it comes to a disability. You tell me who's living goddamn hard when you not damn well know what's going on in my head right now. But I have the ability to adjust it. I have the ability to think outside the box. I have the ability to be comprehensive, loving, caring, but at the same time, a rage. So, as a Native American, as a Latino, as a Caucasian, according to my birth certificate, I'm still here. I'm not suicidal. Maybe homicidal, but not suicidal. And maybe that's the reason why I didn't get to go back to work. I don't know. But maybe one of you in your intelligence under your programs for disability awareness is to make the world aware that one day I will stop protecting myself from what's going on, and I too will be a casualty in the name of God, in the name of Allah. And I will reign justice for the injustice and harm you cause not just me, but the thousands of people who suffer from mental health. So take that into account.
That concludes public comment on this agenda item.
Thank you, Trustee Liu. Our item J1, the approval of resolution number 834 for Disability Awareness Month and Day 2024. Can I get a motion to approve this resolution?
So moved.
Oh, I'll take student trustee Wong for that one. Can I get a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Liu. Any discussion? We'll move to a vote. Trustee Wong?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That passes unanimously. Thank you. Next is item J2, approval of resolution number 835 for World AIDS Day. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Aragon. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Gibson. Discussion?
I just want to point out that on that Sunday of World AIDS Day, there is a large celebration that goes on with the Walls Las Memorias.
Yes.
So you can Google that, and it will be an event that goes in the afternoon, but in the evening they do have a ceremony. But it's a big celebration or a remembrance also on that Sunday. So I just wanted to point that out because it's one of the largest ones, right? And it happens here in LA County. So thank you.
And Walls Las Memorias is an incredible organization serving our community here.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move to a vote. Student trustee Wong?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, that passes unanimously. Next is the approval of resolution number 836 for Veterans Day. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Silver. Is there a
Second.
second?
Second.
Second.
I heard trustee Wong actually before everybody else did, so I'm going to give it to trustee Wong there. Any discussion? Okay, and then we're going to move to a vote. Trustee Wong?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
It passes unanimously. Thank you. And next is J4, approval of resolution number 837 for Native American Heritage Month. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Aragon. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Gibson. Any discussion? Okay, I'm going to move to a vote. Student trustee Wong?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That passes unanimously again. Thank you. Can I get a motion for the approval of items J5, 6, and 7?
Motion to approve items J5, 6, and 7.
Thank you, trustee Kwong. Can I have a second?
Second.
And because personnel,
Trustee.
yeah, personnel item, student trustee does not vote. I'm going to move to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That passes unanimously. Thank you. J8, approval of additions, modification, and deletions to the credit curriculum. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Moved by trustee Gibson. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Kwong. Discussion? Okay. Student trustee Wong? For a vote? Sorry.
Aye.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
That passes unanimously. The most important item on our agenda right now, the nomination of Trustee Irene Wong to the Association of Community College Trustees Student Trustee Advisory Committee.
So moved.
Oh, that was quick. Trustee Silver, thank you.
And I'll second that.
Seconded by Trustee Aragon. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
That passes.
Vote for yourself.
yes.
You
I
can
just
vote for
want to
yourself.
say
Do you want
something.
to vote for yourself, or do you want to abstain?
I abstain.
Okay, okay.
Abstains,
I
okay.
figured everybody could just vote aye on it. Next is item J10.
I just want to say something on
yeah.
that. I mean, I'm sure all of us are in agreement, but it's been really a great pleasure to have the opportunity to go to some of the conferences with our student trustee, getting to know her and her professionalism. And I just really appreciate all that you do, and I look forward to continuing to working with you, so.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
Concur on double that. Next is item J10, interfund transfer. A motion to approve.
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Gibson, seconded by Trustee Liu. Any discussion? We'll move to a vote. Student Trustee Wong.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yes. Pardon me.
Thank you. Item J11, authorization to transmit R311Q. Do we have-
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Silver. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Gibson. Any questions? Any comments? Okay. Student Trustee Wong.
Aye.
And everybody else all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you. In the role of the chair, if there are no objections from my colleagues, I'm going to call for a 10-ish minute recess, and we will be back shortly after 10:45. Thank you.
Say 10:45.
7:45. 7:45.
That's a long recess.
I was reading the
Better
wrong
bring in
number.
some more
I was
food.
thinking Interfund 10. Meeting the board back to order. We are moving on to K1, but before we begin, I'm just going to hand it over to Dr. Gomez really quickly for a quick word.
Yeah. I wanted to, on behalf of the Pasadena Community College District and members of the many beautiful, wonderful communities we serve at PCC, I want to express my profound denunciation of much of the sentiment and language expressed by some of the speakers during public comment tonight. These comments do not reflect the views or values of our college. We are a community that values respect, kindness, compassion, and inclusion. For those of you that continue to direct comments to our incredible individual staff, I ask that you direct them to me as the Chief Executive Officer of this college and as the representative of the administration. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gomez. We're now going to move to a very important topic and very exciting topic, our transfer programs.
Good evening. My name is Tamika Alexander, and I serve as the Associate Dean of Transfer, Honors, and Completion, and happy to be with you here this evening. In our brief time together, we're going to talk a little bit about the transfer work that the Transfer Center does. We'll take a look at some of the transfer programs and initiatives that not only happen here at PCC, but across the state, and we'll take a look at some of our transfer data. So our Transfer Center here at PCC is very active and robust. Tonight we had university night for our evening students, but our goal is really to support our students in navigating the complexities of transferring to a CSU, a UC, in-state or out-of-state. And our goal is to provide support for all students and provide intentional support for our historically marginalized groups. Transfers are governed by regulations such as Title V. So if we take a quick look at some of our transfer programs and initiatives throughout the state, some of these may sound familiar. We have the associate degree for transfer, and in the Transfer Center, we call it the special degree. Students have an opportunity to participate in UC transfer admission with our UC campuses. And there is a new one based on AB 132. It's the CSU Transfer Success Pathway, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Throughout the state, students have an opportunity to do guaranteed admission with our HBCUs. UCLA has an amazing program in which they provide support at select community colleges, and we're proud that they are a partner with PCC. We have our wonderful honors program, and I see Dr. Kennedy there in the audience, who leads a lot of that work. And then there's one program you may or may not be familiar with, and this is CSU and UC cross-enrollment. And what this is this has been around for decades. A student could take 3 classes here at PCC, and one class at PCC, and one class at Cal Poly Pomona for $10. Or Cal State Fullerton for $10. And so this is just a unique program that students may or may not be aware of. And we're excited about our partnership and our work with Harvard as well. So that was a nice laundry list of some of the activities and initiatives, but we're going to dive into a couple of those that recently took place here on our campus. So the HBCU guaranteed admission, we are excited that the Chancellor's Office selected us as one of the host sites. And one of the fun facts they shared is in 2015, API, Latin and white students actually made up 22% of students at the HBCU. So really, HBCUs are a possibility for all students. We had an amazing event, Transfer Center, we had a core planning team, and folks from across campus that really made the event a success. We had a PCC resource fair, because we understand not everybody wants to go to an HBCU, right? But we knew we were going to have a critical mass of transfer students on our campus, and so what better way to connect them with the current resources here at the college. We had dual enrollment students who came early, And our dual enrollment students actually got a chance to go and get their PCC ID. So shout out to our outreach colleagues. We had student athletes and parents, and we even had students who stopped out during COVID, but we were able to re-engage them and get them to come back. So kudos to our strategic marketing office, foundation, athletics, IEDJ, the athletic zone, and instructional faculty. All right, drum roll, how many students and participants did we have? We had 520. So this was a great college-wide effort, and thank you for those that were able to make it. I do know the Chancellor's Office mentioned last year they were really impressed that board members showed up. Because keep in mind, they have other host campuses, and oftentimes board members are not present, so they did recognize that, so thank you. Another area we want to dive into, this is something that's brand new, and this is the CSU Guaranteed Admission. Again, AB 132. Last year was the first year it started, and what this is this allows our first-year students who have no college coursework under their belt to secure a guaranteed spot at a Cal State. And so our team went into the trenches, and last year we were able to get 315 of our PCC students to secure a guaranteed spot for schools like San Diego State, Cal State Long Beach. We just completed the last cycle with 856 students, so right now we have about 1,000 students in the queue. Now, the Cal State University system, or the Chancellor's Office, shared our numbers with us this week. We are officially #1 in the state of California, with securing, again, 856 spots. This was a lot of hard work, but you're able to see how we rank against the other community colleges. And finally, I asked the Chancellor's Office, can you disaggregate the data for us? We want to know how we're doing. And so they were so kind to do that. For our Latinx, we have 422 students who secured a guaranteed spot. For our API community, 266, and for our Black, 31. And so we are leading the work in this area. But I must say, it's the hard work of the folks in the Transfer Center, partnering with folks from Equity, but our secret sauce is working with our instructional faculty. That's how we got to that number, so thank you to all. So as I kind of transition towards the end of the presentation, I do want to highlight, what do we do in the Transfer Center over the course of the year? When does transfer actually start? And so for us, we start before school starts. Our counselor does a ticket to transfer session for our first-year students. We offer an amazing transfer boot camp, which is a 3-day experience and culminates at UCLA and USC. In the fall, we do our big events, University Day, on-the-spot admission, and that photo you see up top, that's literally taken on the steps of the C building facing Campus Center. And we had, at that particular time, over 1,000 students who attended University Day. And then later this month, actually the last week, this room is going to be transformed into Grind Week. That's where we have couches and a coffee bar and food and counselors and transfer advisors and university reps helping our students. So the photo at the very bottom, last year we helped over 1,800 students the last week of the cycle. And then in spring, we kind of help usher students out. We want to make sure that they cross the transfer finish line. And what we do is we do transfer out orientations. So we want to look at a little bit more data and then we're done. PCC transfers over 2,000 students each year. And these are our latest numbers for 22-23. You'll notice PCC is #2 in the total combined CSU and UC in Southern California. And then you'll notice we're #1 in the total combined CSU and UC in the local region. And then just to highlight a few programs, Dr. Kennedy is there. Dr. Kennedy oftentimes says, do you know how many students are in the honors program? Well, there's 1,515. And one stat that he's extremely proud of is the admit rate for our PCC students to go from PCC to UCLA, just regular admission, is 23%. But for our honors program, it's 63%. And so we really want to encourage our students to pursue honors. We're excited. We'll be partnering with our colleagues in IEDJ. We're going to be launching a Black honors cohort as well as a Latin honors cohort sometime next year. We have the PASS program, which is another transfer program here on campus, and they have an 86% persistence rate. And then last but not least is an amazing program called CORE. How many of you know about CORE? They had their homies giving last night here in this space. But CORE is a program designed for our formerly incarcerated and system-impacted students. And our coordinator is Raul Ibanez, who is here. And he shared that this past cycle, they had the largest number of scholars to transfer. But what I'm really excited about is one of our CORE alum is in the audience. His name is Miguel. And Miguel was a CORE student. He was here at PCC, transferred to UCLA, and he just graduated this spring from Columbia University. And so now he's looking at PhD programs, and he has his eye on Brown. So we wish him luck. We know he's going to do amazing things. And so just 3 little transfer initiatives that I want to highlight quickly. We hosted on-the-spot admissions over the course of the year with 300 students getting a decision early. And not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, Sac State was here over in the athletic zone, providing on-the-spot admission for our student athletes. So there's some of the zone staff and counselors. Number 2, we're excited that we launched a new summer bridge program thanks to the Excellence Grant via the foundation, where 41 students had an opportunity to experience a 4-day, 3-night on campus. I don't know if many of you remember living in the residence halls, but they had a really intensive transfer experience. And then last but not least, there's a new initiative that started last year for our student athletes called Next Play. And what this is we worked with Crystal Colross's office, and they did a focus group with our student athletes. And we discovered student athletes were not applying for transfer during the transfer season. They were waiting well past the deadline. And they shared with us that they were waiting to get information from their coaches on an offer. And so we were able to take that information and work with the group of students who were transfer ready to do a 3-part series. Part 1, just create your account. Part 2, start the application. And Part 3, complete the application. And so this is a partnership with our success coaches, our athletic zone and transfer center. And this is a photo of the students who actually applied during the transfer season, and many of them were admitted to colleges and universities. And so last but not least, how can individuals stay connected to the transfer center? They're able to come and meet with folks in person or virtually. One of the things that we like to do in the transfer center is to remove barriers. And for us, if a student wants to see a counselor, they're able to do that. No appointment needed. They simply come in Monday through Thursday, 10 to 6, or Friday, 9 to 1. And we're located again in CC 203. They can also find us by going to our Transfer Center homepage and hitting the red button that says, Meet with a Counselor, and it takes them directly into a Zoom, and they're able to connect with one of the friendly faces you see there on the screen. And so Transfer Honors and Completion says thank you, and that completes my report.
Thank you, Dean Alexander. I think we are always constantly impressed by the work that you and your team and everybody at the Transfer Center does. I keep thinking back every single time I run into Assemblymember Mike Fong. He always pauses and says, you know, when I visited PCC and we went to the Transfer Center, I was just blown away. And you know, as he is someone who was also formerly a community college trustee, and for us to be doing such innovative work on your leadership and the work of your team is a testament to why those numbers are why those numbers are what they. Wow, English is skipping me all of a sudden. Why those numbers are what they are, it really is incredible. So thank you so much for your work and your leadership. Does anybody have any? Yeah, Trustee Liu.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dean Alexander. I mean, I can attest to this personally benefiting from the Transfer Center back when I was a student, and every year now for the last 9 years having that workshop together about common application tips and tricks. I just had one question just from my time having been involved and being a student too. Is the Transfer Center also tracking I'm sure the transfer outcomes of many of the students? Does the Transfer Center keep up with them just in case there are ever students who maybe want to get connected to any PCC alums who transfer to X or Y school?
Great question. We recently started that last year. Sometimes it's difficult to really track. I know clearinghouse is one way. Right now we're doing the old-fashioned way where we have some of our staff who are calling the students to say, hey, where did you go? Where did you end up? But we're going to be working with the Institutional Research Office to get a better grip on where students land. And then the staff has been working with some of our alum to kind of bring them back to do student panels. So we are doing some work, but we started last year.
Thank you so much. And if you need help calling more people, let me know. Just give me some numbers.
I was like, that question seems very pointed.
Volunteering for work.
It's Trustee Liu.
Put me in.
Any other questions or comments? Trustee Silver?
Yeah, I am just so proud of the work that you do. You bring us all honor. So thank you very much. And thank you, Dr. Kennedy and CORE for all the programs that help our students. So I want to know, what else do you need? What else can we do to support you in your work?
You know, one of the biggest challenges that I see is the cost to transfer. And what that means is it's one thing to submit the application, and maybe you get a fee waiver, maybe you don't. And students find ways to make that happen. But once you're admitted, there's lots of fees associated with what's next. The orientation fee, the student intent to register fee. And so we're finding some of our students have been ready to transfer for the past 2 years. They're still here because they're trying to get their pennies together. And so, you know, perhaps we can work with some groups on campus to really figure out a way of how can we reduce that cost, again, the cost of transfer. Yeah.
Thank you. I didn't know. May we have a copy of your presentation? Or was it attached to the agenda? No.
We'll get it from staff later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Trustee Wong?
Yes. So as a current student gathering my applications, I just want to express my gratitude to the Transfer Center and to you, Tamika, for your support, all your work, and for how present the Transfer Center is and all of its counselors in helping students prepare for the transfer process. I just attended both events, the University Night and Apply with Pi, and I was very happy with how much help I got, frankly, getting to connect with as admissions counselors and getting my questions answered. English is escaping me as well. But yes, I just wanted to say my thanks.
Great. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for all the work you're doing in the report. And thanks to CORE and thanks to the honors program. Good work.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Oh, Trustee Aragon?
Okay. Thank you so much for all you do and your staff. And I just especially want to point out your corazon for what you do for our students and and please pass it on to your staff. And I want to say hi to Miguel. I follow him on Instagram and you're a true inspiration to me. So congratulations, and maybe in the future we can have you here back at PCC, faculty administrator, something great. So keep going. Thank you.
That'd be awesome and amazing. Yes, yes. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, Dean Alexander. Okay, our next item is item K2, our Superintendent President's Report. Dr. Gomez.
Well, thank you so much, Tamika, my dear classmate. We're all so proud of you, especially me, as a Cal Poly Pomona alum that also went to school with you. It's great to be working with you again. It's okay to smile, everyone. We've had so many amazing things happening at the college over the last month. We hosted many wonderful and important programs and events. The week after our October Board of Trustees meeting, our community gathered for a ceremony commemorating Indigenous Peoples Day to honor Native peoples and their immense contributions to our culture and our society. I want to thank Jordan Orozco and the Indigenous Advocacy Committee, as well as our Institutional Equity, Diversity, and Justice Department for organizing this beautiful event. We are also celebrating Native American Heritage Month in November, and you can learn more about our planned events on our PCC website. Late last month, we were thrilled to host, as Tamika mentioned, our HBCU caravan for the third year in a row. We understand that it is the best of the caravan stops in the state of California. We're very proud of the work that goes into the planning of the event. Students, as Dr. Alexander mentioned, were able to receive on-the-spot decisions on admissions and information about their financial aid and scholarships right there. It was a truly joyous occasion. Thank you to all the staff and faculty who make this event possible, especially Dr. Alexander and the Transfer Center team, but also thank you as well to Trustee Wong and Trustee Gibson, who are also there attending and supporting the event. Last week, we also had an incredible Veterans Day ceremony organized by our Student Veterans Club and the Veterans Resource Center. As part of the event, we also celebrated some really incredible news. It's not just our transfer center that's number one. For the 12th year in a row, PCC was recognized by the Military Times for being the best community college for veterans in the state of California. That's number one in the entire state, and we also moved up to number 3 in the country. It's no small accomplishment. These rankings are not, those Google clickbait rankings. These rankings are the largest and most comprehensive rankings of schools for military service members, veterans, and their families. This remarkable achievement is a testament to the tireless efforts of the extraordinary team at the Veterans Resource Center, including our magnificent VRC leaders, Lisa Foster and Carol Calandra, and the entire Veterans Resource Center team. In addition, this past weekend, Pasadena City College and the PCC Foundation were honored at the Pasadena Museum of History's Centennial Gala as contemporary history makers who have played a crucial part in shaping Pasadena's heritage. Our good friends from the foundation, Don and Maria Schweitzer, were also honored. Thank you to all of the trustees that attended. It was a very special evening, and we are pleased to share our centennial milestone with such a storied organization in our community. As you all know, we continue to move forward with our centennial celebrations this year. Last month, the PCC College Community Orchestra presented an orchestral centennial, a live performance conducted by Professor Henry Shin, which featured musical selections that are also celebrating 100 years, including George Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue. Maybe 100 years from now, we'll be celebrating what's hot?
Sabrina Carpenter. Oh,
Sabrina
Chaperone,
Carpenter?
Chaperone, yeah.
What else?
Chaperone.
Chaperone, okay. So we'll
Oh,
be.
you knew these.
I was just checking to see if you all knew these. No Taylor Swift? She's not number one anymore?
She's still up there.
She's
yeah.
still up there. Okay, good. And Beyonce? Yeah.
Still doing well.
All right, good, good. We also began to collect oral histories as part of our centennial. This project has begun in partnership with our Retiree Association, and we are planning additional exciting events for the spring. One more thing related to Centennial, we're very excited to be joining with the Tournament of Roses on our Centennial Legacy Partnership. We will be sharing information very soon on ways that members of the PCC community can help decorate our sponsored float for the Rose Parade. Stay tuned. I remember it was Trustee Kwong who gave us the idea to have a parade, or a float in the parade, although we couldn't, get our act together in time to have, actually build a big float. We are sponsoring a float, and we will all be able to participate in the decorating of that float, so we're very excited about that. Today, also, I was pleased to join Mayor Gordo and city leadership along with leaders of PUSD and our own trustee, Tammy Silver, for a multi-site tour of PUSD's resources related to career technical education. We saw a wide range of classrooms and lab spaces and heard from students and teachers at Pasadena High School and John Muir High School about the work they do to prepare students for further CTE study and dual enrollment at PCC and beyond. This is an important conversation for our community, and I'm glad that we are at the center of it. We are looking forward to continuing our partnership to dream big for our region when it comes to CTE. Finally, I'm happy to report that our enrollment is continuing to climb. Our FTES total, or full-time equivalent students total, is already up 7.5% compared to last year. Our head count is up 6.5%, and our overall enrollment is up 5%, and we expect these numbers to continue to increase as we finalize these enrollment totals. This success is a result of a comprehensive team effort across the institution, so I thank everyone involved in that work. Also, as I mentioned this last month at our Board of Trustees meeting, we are excited to be receiving an award from the California Community College's Board of Governors in recognition of our efforts in climate action and sustainability. PCC was selected to receive the Innovative Project Award from the large community college districts across the entire California Community College system. We are receiving this award in recognition of our achievement earlier this year in becoming the first AGSA certified green zone in the city of Pasadena for transitioning to using solely low noise, zero emission, battery electric equipment for all of our landscaping and grounds operations. Several PCC representatives will be traveling to Sacramento next Monday, along with Trustee Kwong, to accept this prestigious award. As I've said it before, but I want to make sure to say it again. Thank you to our entire PCC community for their hard work, and especially to our Board of Trustees who have been steadfast champions for sustainability. At the state level, voters decisively passed Proposition 2, a $10 billion initiative to support construction projects for TK-12 schools and also community colleges. The passage will authorize the first state bond for school construction since 2016 and replenish state funding that had run dry. We are monitoring this new funding resource closely. There is no news at this point, but we are prepared to participate in this process of project selection, and as they will go through the process in Sacramento. We look forward to advocating for our projects, and that concludes my report. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Gomez. We'll now go to L1, our announcements by shared governance representatives and the Board of Trustees, and we'll begin with our associated students.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening. The board would like to report that we had a successful homecoming week, and a special thanks to our VP of Campus Activities, Allegra Venable, for hosting the rally, the dance, and our participation in the homecoming game. And a shout out to our amazing football team, who I believe is still undefeated to this point. Today, we actually hosted Apply with Pi, which gave our Lancers an opportunity to ask counselors at transfer universities about their applications and PIQs. So I wanted to thank our VP of External Affairs, Iris Slim, and her commission for hosting this event today. And wanted to thank Dean Alexander for that collaboration and University Night as well. Tomorrow, we will be hosting a Harry Potter movie night in the Wi-Fi Lounge at 5:30, and on the 19th of November, intend to complete a planting event. Next week, on November 20th, we will collaborate with Lars to host an event in the quad from 11 to 1. This will give an opportunity to celebrate Accessibility Awareness Month and truly cultivate an inclusive environment. And as we come back from the Thanksgiving break, we will host finals, relaxation week, the first week of December, and with the twist, we will also do a Winterfest on December 5th as well. And I just also wanted to highlight that I believe this Saturday, there will be that Centennial tailgate from 3:30 to 5:30 in Lancers Pass. And I just wanted to thank all those individuals who assist our students registering for classes and navigate for the winter and spring. So yeah, that concludes my report.
Thank you, President Martinez. Classified Senate, Ms. Odino.
Good evening, everyone. This semester seems to have just flown by with so much activity for both students and staff. The Classified Senate is winding down from a very busy semester, having hosted several successful events and initiatives. To kick off the last quarter of the year, on October 16th, we held our fall general meeting at Westerbeck Recital Hall. The event provided an opportunity to introduce this year's senators and discuss important topics, including the various standing committees across campus. This meeting was well received, and we look forward to continuing our engagement with our classified staff. After the meeting, we had a pumpkin painting contest that many participated in. We want to thank all who submitted their pumpkins and congratulate at Tisry.
At City?
I'm sorry?
Is it at City? Yes, at City.
At City Morales Chavez, who is the winner of our contest. It was a gorgeous pumpkin. It had our Lancer logo right on it. To continue our celebration of fall, Classified Senate hosted Spirit Week, which took place from October 28th through October 31st and was a huge success. Congratulations to all classified staff who won in the various contests, including Twin Day and the costume contest. We were thrilled to see such enthusiastic participation across campus. On October 29th, there were several events that highlighted PCC's commitment to equity and diversity that our classified staff volunteered for and helped plan. Cape Mixer and the HSBC Caravan. We'd like to thank all who volunteered, who made these two events a resounding success. Thank you to all the board members who participated and came and gave their support to these events as well. It is always wonderful to see the heart of our PCC community as they reach out to each other and to our community. On November 6th, Classified Senate held another fall general meeting to accommodate our night crew and swing shift staff. It covered the same topic as was covered on October 16th meeting, and it was very well received. We look forward to continue our engagement with all staff across all shifts. There are no new classified staff hires to report. Last, we would like to share that Pathway is in need of volunteers for their College One conference to help set up and engage with students. Please connect with Pathway's FYI office for more information. Thank you. This concludes my report.
Thank you very much. Management Association.
Yes, good evening, and please bear with me. Our managers are awesome. The Management Association would like to begin by giving a warm welcome to Serena Gutierrez, Assistant Director of Financial Aid, as the newest member of our leadership team. While the winter is still weeks away, prior to registration started on October 28th and went well with the help and guidance of Dr. Miriam Martunji, Arlene Reed, Armando Duran, Angie Alvarez, Emily Bangham, and Brock Klein on helping lead registration support along with our counselors, retention specialists, success coaches, virtual support center staff, and student workers. They plan on doing something similar for spring registration coming up this Monday on November 18th. A special thanks to the CEC team led by Dr. Francisco Suarez and Dr. Ashley Mejia for coordinating impactful events throughout October, like the October 8th Health Fair, partnering with Chinatown Service Center for a day of health services, which included blood pressure and dental screenings, health education, and assistance with Medi-Cal signups, and the October 29th blood drive. They close out the month with the Dia de los Muertos festivities. A special thanks to all departments who assembled the ofrenda and participated in the Halloween door decorating contest, with an extended gratitude to Dra. Raquel Torres Etana for leading a limpia, a space cleaning, as part of the celebration. I'd like to personally thank Carol Calandra and her team for one of the better SOS breakfasts we've had in a while. If you wonder what SOS means, I can tell you later. We've had a while, and for organizing the Veterans Day ceremony this past Thursday. The students and staff who spoke, along with Dr. Gomez, did well in paying honor to our brave service members. And again, as Alfredo hinted at earlier, please don't miss our football centennial tailgate on Thursday, November 16th. There will be food, fun, and games from 3:30 to 5:30 before PC faces off against LA Valley College at 6 p.m. With our football team undefeated, we encourage everyone to bring their families, show their PCC pride, and support our incredible team led by Coach Robert Tucker and supported by our athletic director Jackie Johnson and Dean Timmy Brown. I know I'll be there with my family. In honor of National Career Development Month, the Freeman Career Center led by Jacqueline Sakoto, in alliance with Dr. Ricardo Castillo and Dean Armand Derderian, will host a career carnival on Thursday, November 21st from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the Quad. Students will have the chance to connect with valuable career resources, explore CTE programs, engage with faculty from our 6 career communities, and get inspired for future career paths. This event will feature music, games, and hands-on career exploration, an exciting opportunity that should not be missed. Now the other side of the page. The PC Foundation is wrapping up the fall scholarship process and are excited to notify nearly 250 students of their awards, with a total of almost $300,000 in scholarships. Congratulations to these recipients, and yes, please join us in celebrating their achievements at the Fall Scholarship Ceremony on Friday, December 13th at the Beckham Auditorium on the Caltech campus. A big thank you to Radhika Kandelwal for facilitating post-election spaces last week for our staff and faculty and providing a welcoming and reflective environment during this pivotal time. Looking ahead, RAD is also preparing spaces specifically for students in the coming weeks, continuing to foster an inclusive and supportive campus atmosphere with the support of IEDJ led by Dr. Kerry Bolin and Quay Dang. In closing, I'd like to recognize that in light of the recent election, some of our students are experiencing real trauma and are legitimately scared. These next 4 years could be especially turbulent for some of our most vulnerable populations, and it is critical that their college, their community college, is there to offer empathy, kindness, and support. To quote our California Community College Chancellor, Sonia Christian, please do everything you can to encourage students to continue attending classes complete this semester, and then return in winter or spring 2025 so that they stay on the path to complete their educational goal. California community colleges have work to do, but it isn't anything we can't handle, especially when we all work together. The Management Association is ready to work with all of you to ensure our students achieve their dreams. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have one for Academic Senate? Do you have one for Academic Senate? Okay. We'll go now to Student Trustee Wong.
I apologize, mine is a little long today. So I had the privilege of attending the Association of Community College Trustees annual Congress a few weeks ago, along with Trustee Wong, Trustee Aragon, Trustee Silver, and Superintendent President Gomez. It was great getting to learn about prospects of the relationship between technology education and workforce preparation, especially in the future, and connect with other student trustees across the nation. With them, I identified trends and consistent equity gaps for community college students, as well as learned of regional differences, notably from colleges from Micronesia, Guam, and other Pacific islands. That was a treat. And as mentioned earlier, as a community college student, and especially as a Pasadena City College student, the experience only emphasized how grateful I am to attend this institution that invests so much in its programs and to student success. I greatly look forward to working with my fellow student trustees throughout the year to discuss solutions to adopt on our campuses and to advocate for on the Hill. I would also like to note how great our college's paralegal program is. I am currently enrolled in one paralegal course, and an opportunity that was provided to us by the program, led by Professors Stephanie Marshall and Jeff Winters, as well as by my professor Shannon Quinley, was a trip to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, and we were offered time to observe appeals hearings, get a tour of their legal library, as well as a Q&A with the justices. And for all my peers pursuing this path, it definitely was an educational and enlightening experience. And lastly, but certainly not least, I want to acknowledge how important it is that we pass these resolutions that we have today, especially in light of recent political events. They are just one piece of the larger commitment that our college makes to building equity and standing for its students in every community. As a student, witnessing the care our staff puts into events such as the Veterans Day ceremony, the event that we held for Native American Heritage Month, as well as the upcoming event that Associated Students is hosting in collaboration with LARS for National Disability Awareness Month. That is just a modicum of the work and care that our staff puts into equity work. And as Board President Wong mentioned today when he came to visit our AS meeting, the work does not stop, nothing changes, and we will continue to build. Thank you.
Thank you. Ooh, I don't know why I got emotional listening to you say that. Trustee Silver.
Well, it's school is back in session and there's so much happening. I will just first of all, I hope that many of you attended our Future of Work conference that Salvatrice Cuomo worked so hard on, and it was fabulous. The topic was the jobs in the sports and entertainment industry, so perfect for our Los Angeles area. And it was eye-opening to me, all the different kinds of jobs that there are that are needed to support a sports team, the data analysis, the just so much that is there. That's just one thing I thought of. So, and the speakers were outstanding. And we had the co-founder and president of Angel City Football Club. So I see how our partnership, how we work together in so many ways, and we're lucky to have each other. Besides that awesome Future of Work conference, there was a groundbreaking at El Monte High School for a new track and football field. And the odd connection, I know it's Trustee Lou's area, but my mother went to El Monte High School. She was a Lion, and my uncle, so I'm part Lion. And they are so proud of their new facility, and all of our communities that have passed bond money, I think, would be so proud to see the various schools spending the money wisely and on the students. I also attended an El Monte Union High School board meeting where they wanted to hear about what we could offer their schools that are also in our district area, not at all to take away from Rio Hondo, but we have middle school, Muscatel, plus Temple City High School, and they are very interested in dual enrollment math, a math academy for their students. So I went there. And then like student trustee Wong, at the Association of Community College Trustee Conference, I went to so many fabulous sessions. I have so much I learned, so I'll just touch on some of my favorite sessions. One was preparing students for a global economy, and they picked unusual courses. It was faculty driven, faculty that were interested in connecting their field of expertise with global studies. They had a dental hygiene course that was connected with international studies, and they learned dental hygiene practices on an international scale, differences in education, licensure requirements, and dental tourism. So that was interesting. They offered something more typical, business course about the different cultures, digital media course. So they were really coming up with ideas. Maybe I'll speak with Dr. Ramirez about how to infuse a global perspective, which also supports our goal of honoring diversity, equity, and inclusion. Another interesting workshop was Kids on Campus, addressing the childcare needs through Head Start and community college partnerships. And Head Start very much wants to have Head Start programs on community college campuses, and the ACCT organization offers free consulting and guidance to do that, and the Head Start's very eager to work with that. So with our Child Care, Child Development Center, maybe that's something that they're interested in. Then I heard a session called Building a Skilled Workforce Through Non-Credit Career Pathways, and it was like I was hearing the secrets of Mount SAC. It was presented by Mount SAC. They have 9,559 FTES in their non-credit department. They offer so many free classes. They are moving some credit classes into non-credit. And they, let's see, what do they do here? They have, for instance, a free LVN program in their non-credit program. They have faculty that are asking to move. For instance, they had a credit cable and wiring class that they moved into non-credit. So I have a lot of information on what Mount SAC is doing very successfully in that non-credit area. And just an interesting workforce idea. I went on a session where there's a community college in Michigan that works hand in hand with their city and they have a partnership where they ask the city what kinds of skills do they need, like in their water department, their water and power department, recreation, library, public works, trash pickup. These are good jobs, and they create certificates so that college's students can move right in to working in their community. So learned a lot, and was so pleased to have good representation with student trustee Wong and trustee Wong and Aragon there as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Silver. Trustee Liu?
Thank you. Go Dodgers. I felt the need to say that. Wearing blue for that, and not just because this is the last suit I haven't dry cleaned. Trying to bring some levity here. But I'll keep this relatively brief. Been able to connect the district more with the college in my area, was able to have PCC represented. We actually, a lot of us were represented at the Temple City School District State of the Schools Address. I know many of our districts touch on the Temple City community and the Temple City School District. Trustee Kwong, Trustee Wong, Dr. Gomez was there as well. And fun connection too is that their current board president was the old teacher for our student trustee back in the day. So they were really excited to hear about that. Also wanted to congratulate the Temple City Chamber. They just had an installation dinner, and they were particularly excited to learn more about our Small Business Development Center, so thank you so much to the great team there. We also had the opportunity to go to the Garvey Education Foundation dinner. They were honoring city managers for some of the communities that are in our district, specifically the city of Rosemead. So I want to thank President Gomez and his team for helping us to prepare a couple certificates for the city managers. And then lastly, I dropped by the Rosemead Chamber. They had a luncheon with their current mayor, and the mayor shared about his experiences going to PCC back in school when he took concurrent enrollment courses, taking the bus, a couple of different bus lines. So he was really excited, of course, that we'll be establishing a presence in Rosemead again with the campus. So thank you to everyone and their team. Also want to thank Alex Bucklehide for, during the Dodgers Day Parade, driving all the way down to SoFi Stadium to attend a luncheon that the U.S. Army was doing for educational leaders. They had heard that PCC had alums also go to West Point, and they were particularly excited about that. So they wanted us to come listen in a bit about the programs they're doing. And then, of course, just shouting out really briefly the PCC events I was able to attend as a guest. Of course, the Pasadena Museum of History Centennial Gala, where the foundation and the college were honored. In addition to Tan Maria Schweitzer, they also honored former PCC trustee Bill Thompson. So that was exciting to see PCC so well represented. I see Raul in the audience. I know many of us attended the core Homies Giving dinner yesterday, which was a wonderful event. My one mistake was getting too many plates of food before the facility subcommittee meeting because the energy levels crashed. But Vice President Jones, the presentation got me back up. And lastly, of course, want to shout out ASPCC again. I was able to briefly drop by the homecoming dance, mostly to ask if I can help out, but they had everything covered, so I was, much like all places, useless, but was able to see that great event come into fruition. And then also wanted to give them a shout out for doing interviews for former ASPCC alums. Got to be interviewed by the Muir Pools and share a little bit about my experience in the student government. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Should consider a career instead of law and comedy, I think. I'll go over to Trustee Gibson.
Yeah, thanks. I was happy to address the senior assembly at Westridge School last month, and I mentioned our efforts with sustainability here at PCC. So hopefully that'll lay some groundwork there. It was very exciting and a wonderful event to see the HBCU caravan here. That was a wonderful event. So thanks to everybody involved in bringing that about and making a successful event of that. I want to congratulate the PCC football team for their championship with the American Pacific League and look forward to many more successful games for them. I was excited to see the beginnings of a native plant, some setting up in the just on the other side of the C building. So it's nice to see the beginning of those native plants going in. I'm happy to tomorrow be helping to welcome our writer in residence, Linnell George. One of her books here is Handful of Earth, Handful of Sky. The world of Octavia Butler, who is a proud alum of PCC, and that'll be happening here at 1 o'clock tomorrow. She'll be giving a talk, and so then looking forward to that. I'm participating. I'm glad to participate in PUSD as a tutor, a math tutor in elementary school for the African American Parent Council. And they're looking for more tutors. So if anybody has any interest in helping out with kids and learning math, contact me and I can hook you up. So Thanks a lot. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Trustee Kwong.
Thank you, Alton. I had the pleasure of representing my district with the speaking about my work with PCC at the Arcadia Rotary Club earlier this month. And we all attended the Temple City Unified School District State of the District address. It's good to see Trustee Wang, Trustee Liu, and also President Gomez. And I had the opportunity of visiting with the Small Business Development Center and learning about the Women's Development Center and the good work that you're doing with the local entrepreneurs, the resources that you provide, and the assistance you give, so that I now have an opportunity to create some visibility in the business community.
Thank you, Trustee Kwong. Trustee Aragon.
Okay, thank you. Again, I just want to thank the Transfer Center for their presentation, and I continue to look forward to more presentations about the great happenings here at PCC. I did get a chance to meet with the Altadena Town Council and give them updates, so I look forward to that continuing relationship with my constituents. I also attended the ACT conference, and I had an opportunity to meet with other trustees nationally. To me, what I think one of the most important highlights, was hearing from Melissa Littleton, who was a student who spoke at the end in regards to her own experience and stopping out at the community college and then coming back and then being a great leader. She was a parent, and she talked about her experience and how she hopes that students have continued opportunities to meet and work with trustees. I attended the Cape Mixer, the First Generation Mixer, the Homies Dinner last night. So thank you all who put those together. It's great to attend and be on that side of it, but I want to acknowledge your hard work in putting those events together. I also attended the Pasadena History Museum Gala. It was cold to dress up in my tuxedo. Finally got to use it. So again, it was a wonderful event, and congratulations to PCC for the award. And then finally, I just want to thank our president and our chair of the board for the email that was sent out after the elections. I really appreciate it. I acknowledged you on that, and I just want to say that I'm proud to be at PCC, which is a campus that's about inclusivity and building up students and not tearing people down. So I stand in complete solidarity with the campus, and I'm here for students also if they ever need to talk or check in. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you, Trustee Aragon. Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here during our regular board meeting tonight. You know, our board meetings, tonight's board meeting, you know, we have to continue doing the work of the college and in service of our students. And I think this is where collectively our moment of leadership exists, right? And how we serve our community here at the college, but certainly across our region in the San Gabriel Valley. You know, I think that, you know, I want to reiterate what I started the meeting by saying is that in moments of change, in moments of uncertainty, we have to reaffirm our shared commitment to unity, support, and inclusion, and that we stay united in our purpose to create a safe, welcoming, compassionate, and resilient community for all Lancers inside and outside of the walls of our college. You know, I think that the election in our state shows that, you know, we are committed to these values with the passage, for example, of Proposition 3 enshrining marriage equality into our state constitution. You know, I think, you know, passage of Proposition 2, the investment in our public education system here in the state of California. Our community members understand the value that not just institutions like PCC, but public education writ large plays, and we're willing to make that continued investment in our region. Speaking on the election results, I also want to just quickly congratulate two of our council members and council members elect in the city of Arcadia, re-elected to our council, Councilmember Paul Chang, who has been a friend and a leader for all of our communities in Arcadia, and Councilmember-elect David Fu, who is joining the council for the first time. In terms of some of the events and the work that has happened, Senator Portantino a little bit earlier mentioned that he hosted his youth mental town hall here in this room just a few weeks ago, which is also really fitting because one of the first pieces of legislation he introduced, he introduced it to the community here as well at PCC, and that was to move back start times for our K-12 students. And so, I think that kind of role that PCC has played in our region for our legislators, the two incredible legislators that we had earlier today, is a testament to our institution's work and certainly our vision and mission. But at Senator Portantino's event, I was honored to be able to deliver some welcoming remarks for the attendees and the incredible panel that really provided some deep insight into the work that has been done, but certainly the work ahead. I just want to acknowledge really quickly, because I know other folks have already named me in their reports in terms of attending the ACCT conference in Seattle. Always great to connect with trustees across the country. The incredible work of our transfer center and the HBCU caravan, and just the energy that whenever we have transfer events, the energy on our campus, in the quad, in front of the campus, wherever the events are occurring. That kind of excitement and energy is really, I think, what fuels me in times where we need that extra fuel. I certainly also want to appreciate the work that our Veterans Resource Center and our PCC Student Veterans Club have done, certainly in the annual recognition of Veterans Day at the wall, and the important words that we have to remember. Certainly everything that we hold as our values, but certainly in terms of the work that we continue to be committed to doing to serve veterans at PCC. Of course, also shout out to the Core Homies Giving Dinner, which was a lot of fun. It was inspiring, I think, that moment for some of our core students and impact students sharing, impact folks sharing the gratitude through their stories and through the impact an institution like PCC, and certainly Raul, under your leadership and the work of everybody at CORE, what that plays. And it's that person by person impact that I think is so powerful. So thank you all for your ongoing work. And certainly, of course, the Pasadena Museum of History, I was honored to go on stage to accept on behalf of the college. And thank my colleagues who are there with us tonight. I think, as we are celebrating our centennial, we certainly want to remember the impact that we have here on campus, but the impact we have writ large throughout our community is immense. And finally, I just wanted to take a second to just appreciate the leadership of our ASPCC leaders here, and President Martinez and Student Trustee Wong. I think when I joined your AS meeting earlier today, one thing that I was immediately struck by was how unfazed and dedicated you all were to continuing to serve students. And the questions are about, what do we do together? How do we work together? How do we move forward together? And that commitment, from you both, and certainly from your entire board and everybody involved in your committees, is inspiring, and certainly the energy that we are proud to support in whatever way we can in the years to come. So thank you, and that concludes my report. Okay. L2, proposed future board business meeting dates. Just a reminder to my colleagues that our January meeting is, per our last meeting, has been canceled. Anything else on that item? Okay. L3, any proposed future agenda items? Okay. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Moved. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.
For you.